Hello everyone. So this is part two of the location planning to study structural components. Okay, this is Professor A.R. Shinde. So we'll further proceed. Okay, this is the basic or typical diagram of structural components of greenhouse. Okay, so you can see these are the principal rafters. This is the U line. This is the ridge line. Sorry, this is the ridge point. This is the U point. Along this, it is U line along this ridge line. This is U point. This is sill. This is sill level. This is curtail wall. This is side wall. Here the gusset knee bracing are used. Here the rafters. These are the struts which are used for balancing the structure or distributing the structural loads. Ground level, curtain wall. These are the purlins below the roof and above the rafters. This is the ventilators from where the hot warm air are exhausted. This is the truss. Footing is footing of 60 centimeter height is kept, and the 5 centimeter thickness as we have studied it in previous slide. Okay, so yeah, side wall. It supports the trusses and bears the weight of the greenhouse, set in concrete footings typically spaced 10 feet apart. So side wall is generally a wall which is supporting the truss and bears the weight of the greenhouse. Also, it is constructed in concrete wall and spaced at 10 feet apart from each interval. Okay. Then curtain wall. The first several feet of sidewall above the soil line, usually made up of some solid building material such as poured concrete, concrete blocks, bricks, or treated lumber. Okay, so curtain wall is made up of from concrete blocks, bricks, poured concrete, of any material for the sidewall above the soil line for the uh, entrance of the, we can say, cold air. Okay, then seal is, it is the top of the curtain wall in generally building or in the civil field. Seal is the bottom of the window level, so seal level is called as the bottom point of the window level. So here is, it is the top of the curtain wall. Okay, eave, where the sides of the greenhouse join the roof of the greenhouse, the top of the sides of the greenhouse. As we I have noted that, I have shown you that eave point or the eave line at the inclined bottom of the principal rafter. Okay, so the truss, structural component that supports the weight of the greenhouse roof, consists of rafters, struts, and cords. Purlins run along the length of the greenhouse, keep the roof trusses aligned. Ridge, where the roofs come together at the top of greenhouses. Many greenhouses has have a ridge vent. Okay, so truss, generally roof truss or truss is consisting of rafters, struts, cords, tie members. Then again, we can say that principal rafter, purlins, and roof sheets, coverings. So truss is a combination of all these members which constitute to be a truss. Okay, purlins are below the roof sheets or roof coverings and supported to the or above the rafters provided for supporting the roof coverings or sheets. Those are used for the covering of roof. Okay, ridge, where the roofs come together at the top of the greenhouse. The inclined principal rafter meeting at one point at the topmost point. Okay, the inclined principal rafter meeting at the topmost point, it's called ridge point. Okay, also there is a ridge vent provided at the top of that point. Okay, then side posts and columns, these are vertical supports that dictate the height of the production area. These range from 1 to 10 feet in height and should be given serious consideration since they directly influence efficiency. So side posts or columns, we all know what are columns. They play an important role in supporting the structure, or in this case we can say the roof truss or the structure. Okay, the also these needed to be efficient so as to withstand the whole structure. Okay, sash bar. Okay, refer figure 4.33. Run perpendicular to the purlins. Attached to the purlins, hold the glazing in place. Sometimes build with a drip groove or channel to catch condensation that forms on the inside of the glass panels. So sash bar, we can see here sash bars. So sash bars are used for passaging the water which is flowing from the upper part of the roof, which is to be uh, s- uh, gathered at one place through the sash bar. Also, here you can see the glass purlins below that. Then these are the aluminum sash bar, aluminum bar cap. There is glass kept upon the uh, these purlins and all that. Again, you can see glass panels, sash bar cap, drip groove is also used. Here you can see the sash bars and purlins. Purlins are run perpendicular to the sash bars. Sash bars are can passage the water also during the condensation process or evaporation process, or when there is humid climate, and when the droplets or droplets of water are um, forming in the dawn period of the day, where it gets a passage to the gutters or the water passage from the sash bars. Okay, so these are the sash bars. Then framing material. Framing material. Aluminium is the most economical material for constructing the greenhouse frame. It can be shaped as needed to form various structural components of the greenhouse and needs no maintenance after installation. Aluminum framing also has the longest lifespan and allows for light reflectance. So here framing material means is the this is the structural material or which is used for galvanizing or for the reflecting the solar radiation, or for the which can be used as a components of uh, production in the greenhouse, or which influence the production or which influence the yield of the crops in the greenhouse. So it is used for light reflectance. It may be used for the frameworking, or it may be used for the many other aspects, so as to increase the lifespan of the structure or for the production of the crops inside the uh, greenhouse. So next is steel. Steel is commonly used but must be painted or galvanized to resist high moisture conditions within the greenhouse. Steel needs more maintenance than aluminum and is heavier, requiring additional support. Steel is a heavy material than the aluminum material. Aluminum is very much light material and need no maintenance, because as it is lighter in weight, and cost is also it is very cost effective, so it uh, doesn't, or it don't need any of the maintenance cost as it is needed for the steel material. Okay, so galvanized iron sheets are the members of the greenhouse structure, which are made from steel, is mostly painted so as to have minimum we can say a maintenance or requiring additional support. Then next is wood. Wood was once a common framing material, but it has steadily lost popularity for a number of reasons. The main disadvantage of wood is that it deteriorates over the time. If wood is desired, pressure treated lumber should be purchased and then treated with commercially available coatings. Avoid penta and creosote since they liberate fumes that are harmful to plants. So wood was once a important material that was used for the structure as a structural component for the greenhouse or polyhouse, as it has a proper it needs a proper maintenance, proper service, as the wood is a biodegradable material. It gets decayed, or it is nowadays needed to be painted. So painted paint has a various chemical reactions on the plants, as it liberate or it exhausts the fumes that are very harmful to plants, and it affects the quality of plants, quality of crops, and may influence the gathering of many insecticides. Okay, so this wood is avoided, and it is a very outdated type of material that was used before the steel and aluminum. So next is coverings. Glass glass allows maximum light transmission in the greenhouse production. Despite this, there are several disadvantages to consider. Glass is expensive and because it is fragile has to be replaced more often than in many other materials in the market today. Also consider that when using glass, the cost of structural components will be expensive because of the added weight which must be supported. When glass is desired, check with the manufacturer for double and triple strength ratings available. When also hammered or frosted panels will distribute incoming light better by dispersing the rays resulting in fewer shadows. This type of glass is not transparent from outside which can be added security benefit in certain institutions. A double layer of polythene inflated with air is another option to consider for covering the greenhouse. One advantage of using this material is that it is relatively inexpensive. Materials have greatly improved and some manufacturers guarantee their materials for up to 4 years. Look for ultraviolet stabilized products that are slower to yellow and crack. Single and triple layer polyethylene coverings are used less commonly. Replacement of polyethylene covering as a result of wind, hail, or solar damage will be more frequent than any other covering, but the low investment and the need for less structural component make it material to consider when a temporary greenhouse is desired. Two additional products available commercially to extend the life of polyethylene house are polypatch and anti-drip material. The anti-drip material reduces condensation that can harm plants growing below. Condensation should also be controlled to prevent lower light transmission, especially during the winter months when low light levels may limit plant growth. So coverings include glass material or there may be many reflecting material. Also there is polythene paper or covering which can be used for covering the upper side or roof of the greenhouse. So glass is a very expensive material and which is hard for the maintenance, and if due to the solar radiations it may get blurred or it may get we can say blurred or scratched due to the um, hard solar radiations, and which is hard to maintain. It is very or very inconvenient for the using. And also there are many types of glasses or glass material used, like double or triple strength materials are used, which can also there are many material like uh, they are having two layered material which is blackish outside and inside they can reflect more solar radiations, and which is also non we can say which has less maintenance or lower maintenance, but it is very cost which is it is very highly cost effective. It is highly costly. It is highly cost. It has high cost. Okay, so it can't be used for the temporary structure. It can be used for the permanent or the vast or bigger structures. And then is it also polyethylene double layer cover is also can be used. Polythene cover can be used for these temporary structures as it is low cost. It has low cost, and which has single and triple layer polyethylene covering can be used in the replacement for the polythene cover is very inexpensive. We can afford it, or a general or a common grower or manager can afford it very easily. So that covering can be easily or conveniently adopted. Okay, so again there are many um, markets or many material, that is fiberglass, polycarbonate, acrylic, which can be used. But fiberglass and all these type of fiberglass deteriorate or ultraviolet rays can be um, prevented from the fiberglass, which in turn affect to the production of crops in lower light transmission. Okay, then polycarbonate is the type. Polycarbonate is a very long span used uh, cover which can be double or triple walled forms and highly impact resistant, which is very hard, which can be used for the 10 to 15 years of life. Then it is then there is acrylic or acrylic type of covering, which is very expensive and which has the warranty of 10 years, but it can be used for the temporary. structures because it has the great quality and has a high impact resistance and great strength, and its cost is very high. So this was all about the the material that of framing material or the structural components and the roof covering materials in this chapter. Okay, thank you.